Fam. What's good, everybody? Happy Monday. X Factor salute. Come up. Um, Hopefully everybody had a great weekend. Um, Hopefully it was relaxing and rejuvenating. Hopefully your Monday is off to a good start. Big Easy, what's good? Tatted Cops, what's good? Gina versus Gina in the building. Carbon Q. What's good, fam? What is good? So I'm gonna give people a little bit of time to wander in before we get rolling. Has anybody had any pickups? Anybody picked up something, a little something? Lonnie Nellen, what's good, fam? What's good? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Tonight should be a easy breezy live. Not nothing too deep. Kind of want to talk about the meetup that we had and kind of be reflective on that. Tactical Tina, what's good, sis? What is good? Major Havoc, salute. Salute. Tina, I don't know if you saw RGG's video that he just dropped of the Guns Out TV gun range. That your boy RGG was over there shooting Atlases. He shot the EOS, the Apollo, and the Erebus. And he shot that new Jacob Gray. We'll talk a little bit about that this evening too. CK Kevin, what's good? One of the newest members. We will be doing a member giveaway tonight, as well as a little something for our non-members. For our non-member giveaway, we'll be giving away 2A NLA patch and keychain. We'll get that out. And for our members, a little something special. So I'm going to give this AR-15 Reptilla grip, but this is not a regular Reptilla grip. This grip was redone, and you can see the stippling and the Cerakote there. It was redone by a company called Clutch, and I use these on a lot of my guns. These grips are incredible, and they're pretty penny. So hopefully you guys, if you have an AR, which I'm sure most of you guys do, this would be an awesome upgrade. And if you don't, this would be a reason for you to go out and get an AR and make it happen. So those will be our two giveaways for this evening. Burner Girl, what's good, sis? What's good? So let's get into it. If you all haven't seen, let me take a step back. So was it last weekend? Last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before that, I had Tactical Bearded Dad, Jeff from the Weapon Collective, and Team Blacksmith flew out to California for a kind of LA meetup. Now, this all started at the ARM 5 event, which is held by a regular gun guy on an annual basis. That was in Atlanta. I was there at that event as well as Team Blacksmith. Now, like a year before that, Team Blacksmith had come out to California, and we had met up at Covert, and we just hung out for a few minutes, kind of chopped it up, shot the shit, but he was kind of in and out. At the ARM 5 event, he was like, hey, 2A, I got to come out again. This time I want to really hang, then maybe shoot some guns, do some stuff. And so when he said that, I was like, well, bet, say less, right? And then I was like, well, why don't we, that part, Tactical Team, it's the flex for me. And so I said, well, why don't we invite some of our other guys out? And so I put out an invitation to Jeff from the Weapon Collective. I put out an invitation to Tactical Bearded Dad, and a few other folks. A couple people couldn't make it for various reasons, but it ended up working out fine because the people that were there were very kind of 2011 centric, while some of the people who got invites were just gun people in general with some 2011s. But the people that ended up coming were very 2011 centric. And between us and Covert, and a shout out to all the companies because we ended up premiering 7 unreleased 2011s. We had a couple of offerings from AAF. We had the aluminum grip version of the Dark Forge Wraith as well as the Reaper. We had Cardinal Arms ported version, and I just dropped the video for the non-ported Cardinal Arms G2 right before this live. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go check it out. And I'm trying to think. There were so many. I said AAF, Dark Forge, Cardinal Arms, Race City Defense sent us out their new Mod 2. That one was off the chain. So we had like 7 different guns that we premiered. And the way it kind of shook off is we all met at Covert on Saturday, and we did Matthew Chang, salute. Nice to see you, my brother. We all met up at Covert on that Saturday, and after hanging out for a little bit, we shot a pre-recorded video with us going over all the guns and everything, right? And we did that, and then we did a live stream directly after that. Tina, that Reaper, I'll get to that. And then we shot a live stream directly after that where we talked about the guns. And then Sunday morning, I invited everybody out to my gun club. Shout out to West End Gun Club, who hosted us for that event where we shot all the guns. And then I ended up bringing some of my guns out. Team Blacksmith brought in some of his. Weapon Collective and Tactical Bearded Dad brought out some of theirs. So we had an epic range day. Now, I did a video kind of outlining that pre-recording that I talked about and the range day. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you go back and check it out. And we are doing still this is the last time I'm saying anything. It's going to get shut off pretty soon. But we are giving away the ultimate swag pack from that weekend. You're going to get 2A NLA gear. You're going to get Weapon Collective gear. You're going to get Team Blacksmith gear and Tactical Bearded Dad gear. You're going to get Covert gear. And we're going to throw in a few other things. Team Blacksmith, what's good, fam? We're going to throw in a couple of other things in that mix. Now, what you have to do to win, Devil Row in the building. What's good? What you have to do to win is you have to go to that video and type done in the comments, right? Well, 2 things. Number 1, you have to subscribe to all of our channels and we will verify. And then you have to type done in the comments of my video. And out of that, we're going to select a lucky winner who is going to get, again, 2A NLA swag, Team Blacksmith swag, Tactical Bearded Dad swag, Weapons Collective swag, Covert swag, and a few more giveaways that I'm not even going to mention. So make sure you are subscribed to all of our channels and you go to that video and type done. All right? That's how it's going down. Ryan Jenkins, salute. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit. So let me just say this before I even get into the guns and all of that. Let me talk a little bit about the guys that were there. Jeff from the Weapon Collective said this during the live stream, and I think it bears repeating. That I think a lot of people think that a lot of us content creators who are in this space don't get along. That we are envious of one another for whatever reason, that we have some kind of crab in the barrel mentality. And I'm not saying that that doesn't exist at all in our space, but I will say this. Every content creator that I've ever ran into has been nothing but gracious and nothing but kind to me. And I will say this even more so about the guys who were there. You couldn't find any more grounded and humble and down to earth guys. You know, I all think of us are have relatively successful channels. We all have, you know, had relative success in our careers, and that has enabled us to buy some very expensive firearms and have extensive collections. And despite all of that, everybody was amazing to deal with. Amazing. There was no judgment. There was none of that. It was an awesome time. Like, take away the guns and all of that, I would just hang out with these guys. So if we all lived in the same city, I'm sure we would hang out quite a bit. And so it was awesome to have those guys fly out to California. And that's a long way to travel especially for like Team Blacksmith and for Tactical Bearded Dad. That's a little road. And for them to fly out and hang with your boy, I was honored. I was happy to host. And it was just an awesome experience. And I think they would echo and have echoed those same sentiments. Jason Parker, salute. Yeah, and so that part of it was great. Now, let's get to the guns. Because, again, I got to shout out Race City Defense. I got to shout out Alpha American Firearms. I got to shout out Mark from Atlas for being the conduit for all of these guns, along with Covert. I got to shout out Covert. I got to shout out Dark Forge. Them, I mean, really, really, fam, when I say they went above and beyond to get these guns to us, like Alpha American Firearms, AAF, they didn't even have enough time to DLC their gun. They just Cerakoted it so we could get it. Right? That's how, like, on it they were. And so, and all of those guns, and we said this in the show, all those guns shot incredible. There wasn't a bad gun on the table. It's just a matter of kind of your personal preference and what your flavor is. But I think all of us walked away. Matthew Chang, what's good? Happy to report you guys. I'm getting my hands on my first 2011 before too long. Congrats, fam. Congrats. Hey, Matt, let me know down in the comments which 2011 you're going to pick up. So all of us having to shoot those guns, I think the general consensus was when we walked away that of the 7 guns, without question, that Reaper was the standout. And I think we all felt that. Just the fact that it was aesthetically, it was amazing. It doesn't look like I hear a lot from people about 2011s. Oh, they all look alike. Well, this one doesn't. So the fact that they took the time to style the gun in a way that was going to make it look different from all the other 2011s, and it'd be good. Sometimes you'll make it look different and you'd be like, oh, you shouldn't have made it look different. Your aesthetic eye is not good. Dark Forge managed to come up with a gun that is aesthetically very, very different and good looking. And it's ported, it's comped, it's fast. The machining is excellent. That grip, that aluminum grip is my new favorite grip. That gun is almost all made in-house at Dark Forge. And here's the thing. Let me say this about Dark Ford. J3, what's good, fam? Salute. Um, Let me say this about Dark Forge, that they have capacity. Dark Forge has been building guns for high-end 2011 sellers for a long time. They have capacity. So unlike my guy Don at Venom, who's a one-man shop, my man Chris at Combat Precision, who's a one-man shop, you know, Pat Rafferty, one-man shop, Ben Hayes, small operation. They have the ability to scale up quickly. So these guns are going to be readily available. And I like that. I like that. A lot of people are like, 2A in LA, I want to get a Rafferty, I want to get a Venom, but the books are closed and I can't get one. These are guns that you are actually going to be able to get. Coy, go mob. What's good with you? RGG. My man 50 grand, salute. RGG, we was just talking about you because I was saying, I don't know if you caught it, but I was saying that the kind of genesis for the LA meetup kind of took place at Arm 5 because I was there and Team Blacksmith was there, and that conversation started in that weekend. So again, that's RGG's event, bringing people together and things emanating out from there. So shout out to RGG for that. 2A in Cali, salute. So yeah, so that Dark Forge Reaper was the winner of the weekend. That was the clear winner. And then there were some close battles. So Team Blacksmith, Tactical Bearded Dad, and Jeff from the Weapon Collective all felt like the RC9 Mod 2 was the second in line behind that Ford. And that is an outstanding gun. You guys know I have the Mod 1. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. The review for the Mod 2 will be dropping very, very soon. Hold on. Did Matt say what he's getting? Okay, so getting your Scalo P. Good stuff. Good stuff, fam. That RCD, I'm doing a review. That will drop next week, I think. So that gun was crazy good. Crazy good at look, it's expensive. But in the world of 1911s, to have that quality of a firearm to come in at $4,500 or less is rare. So we all love that. They love that gun. They felt like that was the number 2. I felt like the number 2 was the Cardinal Arms ported. Now, I just did the review on the Cardinal Arms non-ported. It dropped right before this live. The review for the ported version will be dropping next week. Damn. That Cardinal Arms G2 ported. Ooh-wee. The G2, let's put it this way. You guys know my scoring system. The G2, Jason, we haven't. So I gave 2A in Cali, we haven't. So I'm giving everybody till midnight tonight to put done in the comments, and then we're going to be choosing. We'll probably announce the winner next week. That Cardinal Arms G2 ported, I felt like is different, y'all. The non-ported version scored a 92 out of a possible 100. And the ported version is going to be higher. So that just tells you how great I think that gun is. And all the guys agreed it was stupid. It made no sense. Like I said, all those guns were amazing, amazing guns. And we thought the Alpha American, the 2 offerings they had, the 4 1/4 and the 5-inch were great, especially the 5-inch. Now they did kind of just the throw on kind of Cerakote finish on it. The actual, and that was a prototype gun. The actual gun will be black DLC. That will be tricked out and everything. That gun was crazy. It was crazy, crazy flat. I think the problem that Alpha American is going to run into is that they're at the same price point with the Atlases of the world and guns like that, the Fowlers of the world. And so people are going to have to choose those guns over those guns. I think that's going to be a challenge. I'd like to see them um, have a little bit more aesthetic work done to those guns and the price drop down a little bit. And I think the gun, instead of being like from 6 to 65, if it was more like 5 to 6, I think those guns would do well. And so that was kind of my takeaway. All right, 2A and Cali, you got the XP Pro? Yeah. Yeah, I love that XP Pro. Really, really good shooting gun. Anxious to get my hands on the comp version, which I should relatively soon. So we talked about the. Oh, I will say too that Dark Forge Wraith, which is just a ported version, not the ported and compensated version. That's a bad boy. That's a bad boy too. So that gun was a pleasure to shoot. So again, shout out to all of the gun companies that sent stuff out our way to make this weekend really, really special. Now, let me say this. One of the takeaways from this weekend was that everybody had such a good time and such a wonderful experience. We all vowed that we were going to do it again. And so everybody came out to California. This time I felt like it would only be fair if I went out to somebody else's location. And after kind of talking amongst ourselves, our next destination is going to be Utah on Jeff's Home's territory. So this time we did it in conjunction with Covert and with my range out here, West End Gun Club. In Utah, we're going to try to set something up with Modern Warriors and at Jeff's Gun Club. And Jeff's Gun Club is crazy. It's crazy nice. If you haven't seen Jeff's videos, make sure you check his videos out. All the guys, man, make really, really good content. I think you would enjoy all their stuff. Obviously, everybody has crazy collection and gets access to crazy guns. Hopefully, we'll get some of our invitees that couldn't make it out to California to make it to that event. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure when exactly it's going to happen. Jeff is going to get back to us. We don't want to do it in January because it's going to be a real January is SHOT Show month, and there's a lot going on with that. I'm always committed to go to a regular meetup, so I don't want to do it in June. So, but we're going to try to do it sooner than later. I don't know if it's going to happen in 2025. Maybe it happens in the beginning of 2026. Pistol Politics, what's good, fam? Salute. Ryan Jason, absolutely. Jeff's range is crazy. It's crazy. And hopefully we'll get my man Major Havoc out. I invited Skip's Guns out, but he couldn't make it because he's so bogged down trying to get work out. But hopefully with enough notice, we'll be able to get more and more guys out. I think it was a blast. I can see this being an ongoing situation where we're kind of rotating to different Pistol Politics, much appreciated, my man. I can see this being a rotating thing where we do like multiple locations a year. So I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully on the next one, we'll have some more crazy drops. We'll have some more crazy drops. And so I can't wait. I think it's going to be an awesome experience. This one, like I said, I felt it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now let me pose some questions to you guys. I know most of you guys have seen the content. What was your main takeaway from the weekend with the videos that you saw on my channel and Jeff's and Team Blacksmith? I'd be curious to know that. All right, Major Havoc said, barring another medical issue, he's there. That's great. That is great. Love to have you out. Like I said, we're going to be coordinating with, I'm going to get on the wire with all my guys. I'm going to get on the wire with Venom. I'm going to get on the phone with Rafferty. I'm going to get on the phone with Combat Precision. I'm going to get on the phone with Ray City Defense. I'm going to get on the phone with Atlas. I'm going to get on the phone with Jacob Grant. I'm going to get on the phone with all my guys. And we're going to make this special. Between all the contacts that I have, Major Havoc has, Covert has, we're going to make this next one even better. And we're going to try to get more sponsorships up front. This was just kind of a last, I don't want to say last minute, but a relatively short window. We put all of this together, probably within, like me and Team Blacksmith had the conversation in June, and we kind of threw it out there, but we really didn't start organizing it. So maybe about 45 days before the actual event. Woo! Look, somebody has the Jones. Somebody has the Jones. You bought 3 Atlases in one summer. That is 2A NLA territory, my man. That is 2A NLA territory for sure. Ryan said, love seeing all you guys together out there shooting. It was a blast. It was a blast, fam. 100%. 100 with some crazy guns. Look, I don't know. If I had to guess, dollar-wise, like when you factor in the guns that I brought, you factor in the guns that the company sent out to us, you factor in the guns that Team Blacksmith brought out and Jeff brought out, Tactical Beard. I don't know, fam. Look, we might have been close to a meal ticket at that range. For real, for real. We might have been close to a meal ticket, if not more, at that range. Talk about $1 million range there. It was crazy. It was crazy. Big Easy said he had to order the Reaper. Look, you are not going to regret it. Now, Big Easy, did you order the Reaper from Covert? Where did you order the Reaper through? And there's a reason why I'm asking. Carver, you said great questions, great answer, awesome energy to all of you. Yeah, good guys, Carbon. Really, really good guys. Hey, see you, Sunshine. What's good, sis? What's good with you? You ordered through your FFL, okay? Big Easy. After my live, hit me, DM me. Tavo, salute. Tavo, that's what I don't know is the honest answer to that question. I don't know. So I do a regular meetup every year. And that's a range day. That's a weekend event. And I'm there. I bring out guns. That's my chance for other people to come shoot some of my guns and for me to hang out and interact with folks. I don't know when I'm going to do my own range day. I don't know. It's a lot to coordinate. If you listen, I listen to my boy RGG. I look at like Guns Out TV and some of the other guys, Pew Day and all the stuff the other guys do. It's a lot of work, time, and energy that go into these range days. If I do something, it is going to be very low pro. I am not trying to get myself stressed. It was a lot of work just kind of coordinating the one we did last weekend. It was just kind of the 4 of us plus some of my Covert guys. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work that goes into it. Right. I probably will do something next year, but it's going to be very casual. It's going to be low key. I'll host it maybe at my range. You're gonna have to RSVP. It's gonna be a limited number of folks that come out, and those who can make it can make it. It'll be something like that. Speaking of somebody who has the Jones, ha! Speaking of somebody who has the Jones, he done got that blackout, the Fence 300 blackout, the Cosent, the RCD 9 Mod 2, and the Apollo. Bro, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. Look, I was saying the same thing. Look, next week, I think it's next week. Yeah. Next week, I'm dropping a video on all of my pickups for the first half of 2025. Don't miss that. Oh, there's some of my videos you may miss. That is must see TV. You talk about putting a hurting on the wallet. Ooh, wait. She is sunshine. Me no habla inglés. ¿Qué? ¿Qué? Ah. Ooh, wee. Man. Hey, CK Kevin, bro, come out to Arm 5. It's gonna be in the South somewhere. It's gonna be in the South somewhere. Make sure to try to make that event. I think you'll really enjoy yourself. I think you will really, really enjoy yourself. It's a blast, man. My boy RGG is on Arm 6. I'm sorry, Arm 5 is his past year. RGG, man, he puts on a very unique event. Like Guns Out and TV have a great range day. And like before they started doing their stuff, Iraq Veteran 88 would have a great range day. RGG's event is very unique. It feels more like a family reunion. It's a whole weekend event to just the range day is off the chain. Don't get me wrong. And there's two. There's like uh an individual range day where all the people that come and attend bring their guns. Everybody lets everybody shoot their guns. That's awesome. And then he has like an industry range day where all the different sponsors come out and bring their guns. So try to make that event. I think you'll really, really enjoy it. It's a blast. It's a blast. I'm not sure where it's going to be this year. RGG is trying to figure that out. But as that gets situated, you should be subscribed to his channel. If you're not, make sure you subscribe. And if you do, then he'll say it over there, but I'll reiterate it on my lives as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Oh, and we are doing a couple of giveaways for non-members. I'm going to give away my 2A NLA patch and keychains. And for members, I'm giving away this custom Reptilla grip. So while it is, it's for AR-15, while it is a Reptilla grip, it has been customized. You guys can see that Cerakote on there and that stippling. It's been customized by a company called Clutch. I use a lot of Clutch's stuff on my ARs. This is a pretty penny. Know that going in. It is really, really good. So those are the two giveaways for tonight. And the winner of that will also receive a patch and a keychain. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I think the problem you're going to have is the problem that I have. Is that even when I shoot really, really good striker fire guns, like even when I shoot my covert G-Wagon, which has a combat precision upper and a Glock 34 lower with a Timney trigger, pretty crazy, it doesn't shoot as good as my worst 2011. I would much rather shoot my XP Pro. I would much rather shoot my Prodigy. It is hard to go back to a striker fire pistol once you've experienced the kind of guns that you've experienced and you're about to experience. but it's a sexy gun. And that's what, Terrence is going to make a gun that looks nice. And Canik makes great guns to begin with. In the striker fire world, I've always said Canik is one of the better guns out there. They have one of the best triggers out there, one of the best striker fire trigger out there on the market. A lot of companies have responded. A lot of these striker fire companies have responded and stepped up their game because Canik was offering guns with far better triggers that were less expensive. And so that's when you saw all of a sudden Walther comes out with their competition trigger. And all of a sudden, Smith & Wesson upgrades their trigger. Yeah, because Canik was waxing that ass. That's what that was. Canik was doing them. And they were like, yeah, we can't get away with this garbage. We can't get away with this 6.5 pound trigger pull stuff. We got to do a little bit better. So that is great. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I was trying to get this one. So my man 2A in Cali asked me, 2A in LA, are you going to get the SIG P211? The review drops tomorrow morning. Stop playing with your boy. What? The review for the SIG P211 GTO drops tomorrow morning. I will be putting it on preview right after this live is over. Can't stop, won't stop. What? Fam, I am on one. Look, fam, I got so many reviews, so many initial impressions dropping over the neck. Just stand by. I got too much content. If there's such a thing, I got too much content. So make sure you stand by tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll be dropping the review for the SIG P211, so you'll get to hear all my thoughts on that. And I'm glad you guys are here. Yeah, team. Hold on, where'd it go? Yeah, I think so, Team Blacksmith. I think there was over $1 million in firearms at that range day. I really, really do. Because I think I had, I don't know, a couple 100,000 by myself. And Jeff brought out a lot of the guns, like, y'all didn't even get to see that were there because they didn't show up in everybody's video. But man, yeah, it was a lot. So look, I had a question for you guys. Hold on, let me see what CK Kevin is saying. Anything SIG right now looks nice, but they gaslighting everyone. This coming from a guy who has probably 10 SIGs. So look, what I'm trying to do, Kev, is I am trying to distinguish the gun from the company as best I possibly can. As best I have a lot of SIGs too. Most of my SIGs, though, I got the P365 XXL, crazy build there. Most of my SIG stuff is on the rifle side of the aisle. I've gotten rid of my X5 Legion that I had. But I'm trying to, part of being a content creator is I have to try to look out for my people. And so if I get a chance to review a gun that they want to know my thoughts on, I feel like I have to do that, and I have to leave my own personal opinion of them. I think they've handled this whole P320 thing terribly. I don't know who they've got doing PR for them, but they should rethink it. Oh, okay. I shot the 2K11. I thought it was a solid gun. I think for the price, it's a good buy. I think that's a good pickup, T. I think I'm waiting for you to get the Atlas though. That's what I am waiting for. Can we Can we make that happen? Don't do the Zach thing. Don't do the Zach thing, Tina, where you buy, where you talk about, oh, the Atlas is too expensive, and then you go out and you buy 10 $2,000 guns. No, you could you could have bought two Atlases for them 10 $2,000 guns you bought. Hey, much appreciated, 2A and Cali. Much appreciated. Right, right. So just Jeff had three Infinities out there. I had two Infinities out there. Team Blacksmith, I think, had two or three Infinities out there. So there was somewhere between like 7 to 9 Infinities out on that range. It was a lot. It was a lot. Yep. I have the so CKKF. I have the MPX, the Terran Tactical version of it, and I have the MPXK, the Terran Tactical version of it. Love both those guns. That tell her, CK Kev, tell her, stop messing around with it. Right, Mr. Bullshitter. Right. I love my boy Zach. Zach is my man, 50 grand. I keep telling Zach, Zach refuses to pay for a high-end pistol. I said, Zach, you probably got 3,000 guns, bro. You probably got 3,000. Bro, just get you at least one, really, really nice high-end 2011. He loves the Artemis. Like, Zach, get you an Artemis. Oh, it's too much money. And then he go out and buy 7 $1,000 guns. Zach, that was your Atlas right there. Man, that's my guy, though. That's my guy. Hold on. All right, look, fam. Let's get into the first giveaway. Hold on, let me share my screens. Let me share my screens or whatnot. Let's do this. Let's do share screen, share screen. Yep. All right, fam. Put hashtag 2011 down in the chat for a chance to win a 2A NLA fam patch and a keychain. I got salute. If you guys, oh, also, I didn't put it up, but if you guys go to 2anla.com and you enter in, well, it's okay. I'm going to do a special thing for that. Jen, if you could direct them to the website, I'd appreciate it. If you guys get a chance, go sign up on the website, enter for free contest because I'm going to start pulling from there instead of the StreamYard tool for my free giveaways. So we're not doing that this week, but starting probably the next live, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to start pulling from there. Although you have to be present in the live to win because I ain't going to be chasing down folks. Jay the Budget Gun Buyer, what's good, fam? Good seeing you. Good seeing you. Again, this is for the free giveaway for the 2A NLA patch and keychains. I'm going to be giving a lot of these away. I'm trying to blow out the last of this inventory, and I'm going to be ordering new patches and other giveaway items, 2A NLA giveaway items for 2026. So I'm trying to blow out these in the rest of this month. As a reminder to everybody, you should be, if you see everybody in the chat whose names is in green are members of the channel. If your name is not in green, means you're not a member. To be a member of the channel, it is a whopping $2.99 a month. Now, if you are a channel member, you are eligible for my giveaways. And usually we do lives at least twice a month. I give away stuff every single live. Members get really good gifts. Now, above and beyond that, though, I said that we're going to be doing, I just did a firearms giveaway where I gave away my 500 Blackout, and my main man, Black King, won my my 50 Beowulf giveaway rifle. So he was the winner of the last one. I got two winners in the chat. Black King 9 won, and Jada Budget Gun Buyer won. And so we're going to be doing two more gun giveaways this year. I'm going to be giving away an Or Armament 9mm PCC pistol. Black owned company, crazy good gun, crazy good shooting gun. And I'm going to be giving away a 2011 before the end of the year. Don't miss out. If you are a member, you are automatically eligible for those giveaways, including the monthly giveaways that we do. So make sure you're a member of the channel. Derek Stallings, what's good, fam? If I didn't already say what's up. Kahari, what's good? All right. Let's get it going. Let's get the party going. All right. Ryan Jenkins. Salute. Congrats, fam. Ryan. If you don't already have my email address, Gina versus Gina is going to put it into the chat, and email me your address just in case I don't have it already. I can't remember if you've won before, but email me your address and we will get out your 2A NLA patch and your 2A NLA keychain. All right, fam? Black 007, what's good? Hold on, let me stop sharing. So I've shot it, and it is not the Reaper. Let me just say that. Shout out to Bull Armory. Bull Armory makes a good gun, but it is not on that level, not even close. So I went to SHOT Show this past year, and I got to shoot that Bull Armory gun, and it was a good, and I was very excited about it. I felt like the quality was good, the fit and finish was solid, like it was a solid gun. Then I rolled over to the Miller Precision booth where they had an all metal steel frame, steel slide, aluminum grip gun, better manufacturer, better trigger for, like a little bit more. I think the Bull Armory gun is right around 3. The Miller Precision was right around 4. I thought the Miller was a better shooter, better manufactured, better. And I've got a video dropping sometime in the next few weeks where I compare the Miller, which I think is better than Bull Armory, the Miller, the Reaper, and the Combat Precision GT Dark Horse. And so I think those three are a more realistic comparison to get pitted against each other. Man, I forgot to say I had to restart my weight on the RC9 Mod 2 because I want that roll. Yeah, that rose gold barrel is about that life, right? It's about that life. It makes a big difference in the aesthetics of the gun. I don't blame you. I would have too. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about sending my mom one in to get that rose gold on it. Tina, it is. It is, Tina, because those 3 guns, man, oh man, they shoot. They shoot. They are some shooters. And I'm going to be doing a lot of head-to-heads, fam. I'm going to be doing quite a few head-to-heads. I'm going to be comparing the RC9 to a lot of other guns in its class. I'm going to be comparing the Wraith to other guns in the class, the Cardinal Arms to other guns. Stay tuned, fam. I got a lot of content dropping. It's going to be a lot of head-to-head because I know a lot of times people are like, they're not me. They're not going to buy all the guns. And even I'm starting to do that less. So people are going to want to make smart, informed decisions, and they're going to want to see how these guns compare. CK Kev, you're going to have to wait till the video drops, my man. No sneak peeks. You're going to have to wait till the video drops. But let me tell you, that's a good one. That's going to be a really good video. Yeah. So, Tina, why'd you say what? Tina, why'd you say what for? What did I do? Let me know down in the comments. Yeah, so fam. So I guess I can. Oh, before I go into my thing, this is perfect. I'm glad I have you guys here. I need you to give me some feedback. You guys hear me talk about 2011s all the time. Most of you guys have heard of Jacob Gray. I've done reviews on the Jacob Gray TWC9, the original one. I did a review on the black. I did a review on the Covert limited edition version. And I did a review on the Hex, which was their most recent offering. And they've kind of creeped up there in price a little bit. They started off very, very competitive with the Staccato P and the C series guns, around $2,500. By the time the Covert limited edition and the Hex rolled around, they're right at $3,500. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. 2 questions. A part 1 and a part 2 of this question. I am not. What are you talking about? Oh, Tina said, cutting back. Tina, I am, sis. The madness has to stop. It has to stop. But me cutting back is, instead of 22 guns a month, I buy 22 guns a year, I buy 12 a year. So, but I am cutting back. So I gave you the background on Jacob Gray, right? Now, if Jacob Gray were to drop a gun for $6,000, and so now it's in the same ballpark with Atlas, it's in the same ballpark with Fowler, in the same ballpark with Combat Precision, and other kind of high-end guns, would you buy a Jacob Gray or would you buy an Atlas? Let's just limit it to those 2. If Jacob Gray dropped a gun tomorrow for $6,000, would you buy the Jacob Gray or would you buy the Atlas? Put that for me down in the chat. I'm just doing a quick survey. CK Kevin, I can't buy them all, fam, because they keep dropping new ones every other second. I just told you that I reviewed 7 different guns, 7 different prototypes 2 weeks ago. Black King says Atlas, 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 Atlas all day. Okay. Let me ask you this. Ryan Jenkins, Atlas, X Factor 14, Atlas. Okay. Now, let me ask you this. If I told you they're installing Atlas, good. I haven't seen anybody say anything other than Atlas. Okay. If I told you that from just a gun perspective, not talking about the company, just the gun itself, if I told you the gun was better than an Atlas, slightly better, not like night and day better, but better. If the gun was better than an Atlas. Well, CK Kevin, the Erebus is 8K, but I'm thinking more like the EOS, the Apollo, the Athena, those guns that are right in that 6K range, right? If I told you that the Jacob Gray was a little better than the $6,000 Atlases, would you still buy an Atlas or would you change your mind about the Jacob Gray? Gordon Jones, salute, fam. Appreciate you. Tina says, still Atlas holds value better in the long run. Major Havoc said he would buy the Jacob Gray. Mr. Bullshitter still says Atlas. 2A in Cali still says Atlas. If it's a not for 6K and Athena, maybe. Atlas. Okay. So here's the thing, fam. And this is what I think about. This is what I think that all these gun manufacturers have to think about, right? I think too many times gun manufacturers think to themselves, devil row. I think too many times gun manufacturers think to themselves, oh, if I just make the best gun, I can charge what other people charge. But there is some cachet that goes around. I think when you start getting up in the $6, $7, $8, $9,000, $10,000 range, it is not just the shootability of the gun, it is the flex, it is the floss factor, it is the prestige of the brand that goes along with it. If somebody tells me, what gun did you just buy? And I say, I just bought an Infinity, they're going to be like, oh. If I tell them I just bought a Jacob Gray, they're going to be like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. What I'm saying? It's that. Like, I use this example. I was talking to my guy, Chris, at Covert the other day, and I used this example. I would say, I said, if Dodge tomorrow came up with a hypercar that was just as good, if not better, than a Lambo Revuelto, would you get the Lambo or would you get the Dodge? And people are going to get the Lambo because when you tell people, oh, what kind of car do you drive? And you say Lamborghini, they're going to be like, oh. What kind of car you drive? Dodge? Oh. You see the difference in that reaction, fam? Denton, what's good, my man? So I think that is the thing. And so I don't know. So I say all this to say Jacob Gray is coming out with a $5,800 gun. They featured it at the Guns Out TV drop. From RGG shot it, loved it. I'm sure Jacob Gray makes good stuff. So I'm sure the gun is good. But when you price it there, you're going up against some really good quality firearms head to head that have better name recognition in that price point, in that space. And I don't know how it's going to do. We'll see. We'll see. But I'll give them credit. They did bring it in sub 6,000 at 5,800. That's what we're thinking the price is going to be. It hasn't been publicized yet. And it is ported and comped. So you know I'm going to get one in my hand. So that goes without saying. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put it up against the Miller. I'm going to put it up against the Reaper. I'm going to put it up against the my Combat Precision GT Dark Horse. And we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. I don't know. Your boy could have a couple more custom guns coming in that are also ported in comp that we may have to put it up against those too. So let's see. Let's see. Dan Ringman, salute. Good seeing you, fam. Good seeing you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. $58.99. That's $6K. That's facts, Tina. That's facts. That's facts. That's why I want a new Sleeper 2011 at 2K less than Atlas. Lots of player coming in that market. I think, CK Kevin, if you're looking for that Race City Defense Mod 2 that's coming in right around 4,500, it could be the one. Also, the Cosane offerings, the most recent Cosane offers that are coming in at 4 could be the one. That Miller Precision coming in right around 4,500, ported in comp, could be the one. In terms of quality, well, and when you say 2K less than Atlas, which Atlas? Are we talking about Artemis and Erebus, which are 8K? Or are we talking about Apollo and those guns that are right around 6, a little bit above 6? If we're talking about those guns, then those would be the guns that I would really be looking at. That RCD, Mod 2, the Miller Precision when it drops, the Cosane arm guns, I would really be looking at those. If we're talking about 8K, and so you're talking around a 6K gun, there's a lot of incredible guns at that price range. I would be looking at the Wraith. I would be looking at Fowler. I would be looking at Combat Precision. I would be looking at that Cardinal. Look, I can't state how much of a fan I am with that Cardinal G2. That gun is amazing. Amazing. And the ported version is even better. Okay, you're talking about Artemis Erebus. Yeah. So if you're talking about that 6K range, those are the guns that I would be looking at. I would be looking at the Cardinal. I would be looking at the Fowler. I would be looking at the Wraith. I would be looking at Combat Precision. Because those guns are all crazy. Yeah. It's on my list. It's on my list. Is the Reaper better than the Apollo? Yeah, I'd say so. It's hard for me to say. Y'all know how I feel about Atlas. But yeah, I think it is. Better shooters. I think the fit, finish, machining, manufacturing, they're comparable. I think the shootability of the gun is better. Better. Ported and comped, better. And stylistically, something different. You know, I love Atlas, but let's face it, all the Atlas guns look alike. The only Atlas gun that looks different is the Erebus and the Chaos. They don't make the Chaos anymore. But other than that, all the Atlas guns kind of look alike. The Reaper has a better look. Yeah, I'd say it's better. It's better. Now, if you ask me, is the Reaper better than the Erebus? That I don't know. I get my Reaper. I pick my Reaper up in a couple of days. It's in 10-day jail right now. It's in 10-day jail right now, but I'm going to compare the Reaper and the Erebus. Tina said, "No, that hurt my feelings." Tina, but look, it's $1,000 more than the Apollo 2. So think about that. Take that into consideration. It's $1,000 more than the Apollo. I do, Mr. Bullshit. I really do. I love that gun. Honestly, fam, I don't know. And I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. There's a lot of great 2011s. I really do love that about what's going on in the marketplace. There are some really solid entry level 2011s that are in that $1,000. Let's just call it $800 to $1,500 range. If you want to get into 2011 and you don't have thousands of dollars to spend, I love that you can get a really good quality gun and make some upgrades to it, and that gun can be special, right? I love that. And then I love that there are mid-tier, like that 2,500, 35, great guns there. That 4,500 to kind of 55, great guns there. But there's a few guns, fam, that when I handle them, they're different. The Fowler Vanta 9 is different. The Cardinal Arms G2 is different. Atlas guns are different. Venom, and then I'm going to put those to the side. Venom, Hayes, Rafferty, Infinity. Another different, really different. And so I would put the Cardinal right there with Atlas. I think that their guns, with the exception of the with the exception of the it's with the exception of the Erebus and maybe the Artemis. I'm gonna say that Cardinal G2 porting is just as good as an Apollo, is just as good as an Athena, is and if you the non-ported version versus the Athena, the ported version versus the Apollo, right? Just as good. Just as good, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And I think that the Cardinal name is starting to, it's getting traction. People are starting to recognize, oh, these guys have been making high-end guns for some of these other high-end companies, some of which I just named. And so I think that prestige that's circulating around, they're building some momentum there. So that gun is the real deal. It's real deal. That part, man, real CK Kevin. Woo, man, look, it's an expensive hobby. I remember, so I play golf, and I'm a pretty good golfer by by normal standards. They say the average golfer shoots can't break 100, so I shoot in the 80s pretty consistently. And people used to say golf is an expensive habit. No, guns are an expensive habit. Guns are an expensive habit, especially if you collect. It's a really expensive habit. CK says he's old as fuck. He always needs medical advice. Facts. Black King said, I had to make that choice. I picked guns. Man, look, I feel you. I feel you. That's real. That is real, 100%. Yeah, it's not that expensive to you, Gina, because you win all your damn guns. Gina done won 2011s. She done won Glocks. She done won shotguns. Gina done won all the guns. All the guns. Some of us have to pay for our guns, Gina. Some of us have to pay. Man, CK Kevin, I did a short a little while back where I took some audio from somebody else and I just scanned my gun room, and the audio went something like this. I used to be addicted to drugs. Now I'm addicted to guns. I'm going back to drugs because drugs were less expensive. That's facts. That is facts. That part. That part. Snap at you photography. What's good, fam? Snap was at the meetup too. Arm 5. I'm sure he'll be there at Arm 6, God willing, and the water don't rise. So yeah, fam. Yeah. 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 Um, should I do the main giveaway now? What y'all think? We've been on about an hour. Should I do the main giveaway? I'll wait a few more minutes. I'll wait a little few more minutes. So the Jacob Gray thing. That's what I was saying about that because I'm a fan of Jacob Gray. I've told this story, but I'm gonna take a little bit of credit for launching Jacob Gray out here in California because Covert, who was the first dealer that they ever had out here in California, had never heard of Jacob Gray. I had heard about them and I was like, so here's the thing. In California, prior to the HD, there were no 2011s on the California handgun roster. So if you wanted a staccato, you would have to pay double MSRP for it. And so there were no 2011 staccato dealers out here. So if you wanted a 2011, like all the Coverts, the cheap 2011s in Covert at the time were like $4,000 plus, right? And nobody had staccato. So if you wanted to buy staccato on the private market, you were paying $4,000 plus. So I went into the shop and I said, look, this Jacob Gray, CK Kevin, hold on. I want to come back to that. So I was like, these Jacob Gray guns, they're all metal, so no more of that polymer grip crap. Seem to have a really good trigger, seem to be really well manufactured. You guys should talk to them, like for real, and try to get them on board because you guys need that entry level gun as part of your inventory because they didn't really have one at the time. Long story short, they reach out to Jacob Gray. A relationship is started. They start shipping out great Jacob Gray. They start doing limited edition. Jacob Gray starts getting placed in other dealers in California. Gun blows up, right? So I want to see them win 100%. And if that gun is great, I'll review it and I'll sing its praises. I just think when you start getting to that price point, it is about more than just how the gun looks and how the gun shoots. It's about the prestige associated with that gun. And so, CK Kevin, you heard correctly. And not only have you heard it, they're out already. If you look at my shorts, I think I did a short. I know I did a short on Instagram with the Jacob Gray rifles. The prototypes are out. They are fine tuning them as we speak, Kev, and they should be coming out, I think, in the next couple months. So stay tuned for that. I'm sure they probably had some at the range day. They're good looking guns. They're good looking AR-15s. I haven't shot one, of course. I'll get one from Covert to review, but they're good looking guns for sure. They do come from an aerospace background, CKK. They do come from an aerospace background. And that's why a lot of these companies too, Blackout Defense, who makes phenomenal AR-15s, they came from an aerospace background too. A lot of really, they understand a lot of the things that you need in the aerospace industry that you need in kind of the high-end gun space. Those two things coincide. You need to have really good tolerances. You need to really be able to narrow down specs and things like that. And they have that knowledge. I remember Blackout Defense. I'm a big fan of Blackout Defense. Long before they were making any guns, they were making triggers. And I put Blackout Defense guns in several of my early AR-15s. And when I found out they dropped a rifle, I know they had to be good. So I picked up one. And they've got some newer Blackout Defense is coming out with some new offerings. I'm going to be getting one of those. We're going to be doing reviews on that. They're doing a collaboration with Covert. So stay tuned, man. That's going to be off the chain. Black 007 says, I only want the big dog, Atlas, Venom, Hayes, and to infinity, then I'm good. Look, fam, I think I would add Rafferty to that, and I would say that's kind of the holy grail. That's the Mount Rushmore. That's the Mount Rushmore of in the 2011 space. I would get one Infinity and one Rafferty. And then I would think you got the Mount Rushmore of 2011s. Now there's some other good custom builders. There's Chambers, there's Charin, there's Mercier. So there's some other good 2011 builders out there. But to me, those are the ones. Those are the ones. As a matter of fact, I got to have a conversation with Don sometime this week at Venom because he's working on my next Venom. It's going to be crazy, I promise you. I promise you. Woo! Stay tuned. Stand by. Stand by. It is going to be off the chain. All right, look. Let's get into the next giveaway. Okay, I'm going to be giving away. The winner of this one is going to get a patch and keychain, but also you're going to be getting this Reptilla grip. And it's not just the Reptilla grip. This Reptilla grip is an AR-15 grip. It has been redone by Clutch. And so they did that dope circle on there, and it is stippled immaculately. This will fit any AR-15 kind of platform gun. So we're going to be giving away one of those. So let me get rid of this. And let me share my screen. Let's go to the wheel of names. Let me shuffle. Shuffle. All right, let's get that going. Yeah, fam. So, man, a lot of good stuff. Let me see. Let me look at the videos that I have coming out. So I told you guys tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I'm going to be dropping the review for that new SIG GTO. So make sure you are staying tuned for that. I'm also going to be talking about the Staccato HD. That's going to be a video you don't want to miss. I think a lot of people need to hear what I have to say about the Staccato HD 4 and the 4.5. So it's going to be the GTO video is going to drop tomorrow. That's Tuesday. Thursday, I'm dropping the Staccato video. Saturday morning, I'm dropping my first half pickups of 2025. Fam. This is if you miss any of my reviews, this is a chance for you to look at all the builds and all the pieces that I bought this year in one compact video. It's crazy, fam. It's crazy. I dropped a little short on Instagram. It went bonkers. Bonkers. And then next week, when September rolls around, I'm going to hit you with the Cardinal ported initial impressions and review. I'm going to hit you with the Race City Defense Mod 2 initial impressions and review. I'm bringing back my Radiant Mod 1 with all dye-free co-furniture. That was going to be awesome. I'm dropping all the Terran tactical guns that have been featured in movies. That's going to be crazy. I'm doing the AAF review. I'm doing a review on the CNC gun. I'm doing a Wraith, the Wraith review. I'm doing the video I talked about, the Reaper versus the Dark Horse versus the Miller Precision gun. After that, I'm comparing the Race City Defense Mod 1 against the Mod 2. And then right after that, I'm dropping the Race City Defense Mod 2 versus Fowler. I'm doing another video where I compare the Cardinal Arms ported versus the Fowler versus the Apollo. What Everybody's been waiting until we had a lot of Apollo talk tonight. That video is going to be dropping. And then I got a new Infinity coming in, and that'll be dropping towards the end of September. September's going to be bonkers, y'all. I'm just letting you know right now, September is going to be bonkers. All right, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that because, yeah, we're going to be doing it in September. All right, let's go. B Norm, what's good, fam? Ah, Gina Arnello. Congratulations. We got a female winner. I love when the female winners win. So, Gina, shout out to you. We will be getting out your AR-15. Hopefully you have an AR-15, but if you don't, then this will be the perfect time for you to pick up one. You have between now and the next live to reach out to me at 2anla at gmail.com, and you will win. You can get your Reptilla / clutch grip. Right. that part, Tina. That part. All right. Shout out to Gina Arnello. Let me shut this down. All right, fam. So we got some heavyweight videos coming up for you rest of this month in September. Hopefully you'll be enjoying them. We're going to be doing lives. Now, I'm not saying, but I might be saying, but I'm not saying. I could be saying, but I'm not. I'm thinking about saying, I haven't said, but I might be saying that next gun giveaway could be sometime in September. Stop playing with your boy. If you are not a member, make sure you become a member of the channel. I'm going to have some really good giveaways for you. If you haven't gone back to the video, and hold on, let me give you guys the name of that video. It's the video that aired on August the 19th, entitled 7 New 2011 Pistols, 1 Epic Range Day. If you haven't subscribed to all 4 of our channels, my channel, Tactical Bearded Dad's channel, Jeff from the Weapons Collective channel, and Team Blacksmith channel, if you haven't subscribed to those channels, do that and then put done there. And I'm going to give you guys till midnight tonight to do so. The winner of that is going to win a 2A NLA, is going to win 2A NLA swag, Tactical Bearded Dad swag, Weapon Collective swag, Team Blacksmith swag, Covert swag, along with some other giveaways. So make sure you guys are ready for that. Okay, my bad, Tactical. Tina says, stop talking so much. Stop telling them I'm trying to win. I'm trying to win. Facts. All right, fam. Look, I'm gonna shut it down. Thanks for everybody coming out and hanging with your boy tonight. Much appreciated. Make sure you stay tuned for tomorrow morning when that GTO video drops. I'm gonna put it on premiere as soon as the live is over. All right. Until next time, as always, take care of one another, y'all, and peace.